Hello, love. I'm Jeanne Street, and welcome to the Unconditionally Loved podcast. You've come here to fill up with the heavenly messages, divine guidance, and inspirational conversations. Trust that you've been guided here for a reason, to go beyond the physical world, to align in a remembrance of your soul's calling, and to remember that you are unconditionally loved. So change isn't always easy. Change can freak us out, especially those of us that are comfortable in the energy we are currently living in. Today's show is all about change, the discomfort, the comforts, and when we step into something new. Welcome to the Unconditionally Loved podcast. I am your host, Jeanne Street, and I am happy and honored and thrilled you are here. And if you've been tuning in for the past, several years of the podcast, you're noticing that we have a new name. That's right. We have a little upgrade, a little shift, a little difference. And it might feel uncomfortable. And I realize that because when we do have change and it does affect the world around us, people around us don't always like the change that we're stepping into. So I wanted to talk about this on both sides of that fence, that when we are stepping into something that feels really groovy and good to us, the response from the outside world might not meet us exactly where we're at. It might come to us as a form of challenging us to lean in and be like, hey, why are you doing that? I don't like that. People will offer their opinion such as that. They'll question your own authority to have the ability to stand in that purpose and passion. And they will also try to assign you to a version of them that are holding on to, assign you to come back to that version, to keep things the same, because again, change is not comfortable for most people. So I thought today's episode would be hard in a way, because stepping into this next iteration of myself, I'm realizing that there are parts of me that I'm letting go. There are parts of me that I'm releasing, and that is hard. And to be honest, it's hard, but it's also exciting and rewarding. So what's hard about it? Let's talk about that. What's hard is people begin to know you as, they know you as an identity. They connect with you with that identity. And for a very long time, I personally needed that identity of being the angel lady because it was safe, it was familiar, and it was comfortable. It also protected me inside of all of this gift, being a medium, of being a healer, knowing I could connect with my angels and I could refer people to the angels as being the set of how I was connecting and delivering those messages, that it wasn't falling on my shoulders to claim that responsibility, that I was, indeed a medium. I could say things like, well, angels don't lie, and it would take that pressure off of me. And over time, I've grown. That's just how it is. We grow and we evolve and we heal, and then we remember more about ourselves. That is if we're tuning in. And so for me, that's where I am. I've done a ton of healing work over the past 5 years, which has brought me to this beautiful space of being able to claim fully who I am. Claim fully that I am this medium. I don't need to deflect that the messages or the healing energy that I channel come from anywhere else but God. I don't have to put it on my angels. They are beautiful and gorgeous, and I love and adore them. I can hold that space for that knowing that they're always there, but I don't have to have that as a comfort zone. And that's where we come to this podcast, Unconditionally Loved. Because what is the energy that is most profound. What is the energy that comes through in a message and during a healing session when I'm conversing with someone? It is this. It is exactly little threads of unconditional love that are woven in to the words I will speak, to the energy we will be in, the soul and I that are conversing, you and I right now connecting. And God has a plan. And so if I remove the I from the situation, me, and I just place in there, God, what will you have me do? Then that brings me to unconditional love. It just is. It brings me to, how will you use me? What will you need me to say? How can I be that vessel? How can I continue to purify and stand even brighter and even stronger and even more confident, but while being humble, while being really connected that this is bigger than I can imagine. So I thought we could talk a little bit about stepping into something new, making a plan to share your gifts, making a plan to do that new thing, and what it entails, what it is that it needs to happen for us to take that leap. So for me, the first step would be to be in communion with God. It would be to be still, to be quiet, finding the time and the space so that your body can be in that rhythm of the highest frequency. Isn't something that you can force. It's not something that you can pretend. And I know you know this. Most of us have a really hard time meditating, have a hard time quieting down or being still. We're busy, we're social, we're checking our phones all the freaking time. But when we are quiet and still, whether it's going for a walk outside, whether it's sitting down with scripture, it's being still with our pen to paper, quiet journaling, yoga, anything where we're just being still with God and we're inviting the energy of the Holy Spirit, we're inviting heaven here now, what we're going to notice is a little shift of frequency. So I did this beautiful workshop this past weekend with a beautiful girlfriend of mine, and it was called Guidance Above All Things. And we had these amazing women healers come to my home, and we sat in sacred circle. We shared, we communed with heaven and received. And what I found with these beautiful healers is how sensitive their hearts are, how the memory of who they are brings tears to their eyes when they start to recall something that they have that they forgot, or something that they've been afraid to use or push down or judged that they weren't good enough, and then started to express it, that the emotions were what opened up the space for God to come in and bring in that word, bring in that feeling, that sense. Which brings me to step 2. Once you're still, once you're in your stillness, it is going through your senses. I call this stacking the senses. It's really simple to do, and it's profound. Once you master stacking the senses, you will find that you can tune out the outside world a little easier and tune in to the inner world. This inner world with your senses is how you commune with heaven. It's how heaven lights up very easily. It's how our departed loved ones come forward, and then we don't poo-poo it. And that would be my third step, is believe. You have to believe. You have to have that belief system that you're not making it up. You're not crazy. And your conversations, the words that you speak, must match your belief. Because if you believe and say, yeah, I believe, and then you turn around and you start saying something like, I can't believe that just happened, or I don't know if this is real, I don't know if I'm making this up. If you start having a conversation with a friend, then in a negative way, and implementing those negative words in there, it's leading to doubt, and that's just speaking volumes to to heaven. It's speaking volumes that your door's closed, that you're actually not believing. So working on that belief system, finding out, what am I thinking? What am I really thinking? What am I really saying? And can I turn those towards the belief of it is? And those are my top 3 steps. Pretty simple, not hard. It's not rocket science, but the challenging part for us is staying steady, having community, being reminded. And if you're like me, being in a group of like-minded souls will help you to excel. This is what I found personally. It's what I see inside of my mastery, inside of my soul shine, is that when there's a community of like-minded souls that come together, there's a spark and a magic that happens because you're seeing yourself in other people. You're seeing the magic happen. You're witnessing someone else getting lit up and shining, and you're supporting them, and then they're supporting you. This is what I have found to be the most incredible tool that I have used throughout my career as a medium and a healer, is to work with those women like my friend Stephanie, who I had over this weekend when we did the Guidance Above All Things, is to be in community with them, to have those behind the scenes experiences to help and remind us that we are women that are meant to serve on a higher capacity. If this sounds like you, if you feel like you're ready for that community, I'm going to invite you to dive in here with me, to step inside of my Soul Shine group, to find out more about what lights you up and to go further than you've gone before. We're just opening our doors for our Soul Shine membership, and then I want to, which we're umbrellaing, I can't say the word. It's under the umbrella. Let me say it that way. It's under the umbrella of Ascension membership. And Ascension meaning lifting up, moving into your highest soul self. And so we've created a pathway, really simple and really beautiful, for you to move through your own personal ascension. And the Soul Shine is at the peak of it, because this is our place where we meet twice a month. We commune with heaven. We gather to receive messages, support, and sermons. I deliver like sermons within these sessions. We commune with Mary Magdalene and Holy Mary, Mother God. It's beyond beautiful and inspirational. And if it sounds like something that you're ready for, there are 3 levels that we have open right now. And these 3 levels are Soul Shine. And the next level would be the Angel Healer Training, which is all virtual. And you would have those Soul Shine sessions. And then the third would be the Mastery. And you would have the digital version of the Mastery and the Soul Shine sessions. So we're going to put the link in the show notes for you so that you can dive in and you can find out what it would be like for you to go a little further than where you are right now, to have a community of like-minded people, to open your heart and spread your wings. I hope this serves you and supports you, and that you remember that you are unconditionally loved. Thank you so much for being here. God bless you.